Howdy everybody, and welcome back to Malenia's Arsenal, the series where we fight Malenia and NG7 with every single weapon. In this episode, we're actually going to be showing off the Banished Knight's Greatsword. Before we get into it, I'd just like to say, hey, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment if you want to choose what's next. I'll actually say this one was suggested by somebody, and I have the name this time. It was suggested by Faraday1. He said, basically he wanted me to use what he used to beat Malenia for the first time. I forgot to put a fourth talisman on. Good thing I checked. Which was 2 Banished Knight Greatswords. But I don't have that. So instead I have 1 Banished Knight Greatsword and 1 Knight Greatsword. Both of which are practically the same weapon. One's just a little longer than the other. Let's get into it, shall we, though? I don't even know what I want for the 4th talisman, honestly. Oh, yes I do. Here we go. So the Banished Knight's Greatsword, a finely crafted greatsword intricately engraved with an ancient motif, given to knights who, whether by misfortune or misdeed, were forced to abandon their homes. Most of these knights were sent to the fringes, where they were forced to start anew with only despair for company. That's basically the whole, it's like Nile, right? He leads all of the Banished Knights and whatnot in their castle, but, this weapon is pretty good, and it's double bleed. This is probably going to be a pretty strong setup, I won't lie. Like, the overall damage per swing might not be great, but the fact that you can bleed pretty efficiently is a big deal. I will not be using, or be attempting to not use, Val this time. I have an idea, and I wanted to show it off. So there's an option you can do where you just jump out of waterfowl if you have poise. I only just learned this just by accident, and some testing of my own. You don't no hit obviously if you jump out of it, but like, that's a pretty good deal. For only 2 little ticks of damage, and I say little, I guess kind of falsely because I know it's not necessarily small, but I'm in New Game 7, so you get out of waterfowl with very little damage, honestly. Anything, oh, she broke my poise there, guys. Not much else to add about this. It's really strong. I might be face tanking a little. I should have been running. Whoa, geometry saved me. That's lucky. Dude, that is, I'm dead. Yeah. The only thing I have to say about this is it's the paired greatsword moveset, which I think is not great, but it's really strong, and I got overconfident. Let's pop a rune arc and we'll get back into it. I will say, at least preferably for me, so these weapons are very similar. This one's more of a dex-based weapon. I spec'd for something else for a different video I was doing. You ended up seeing a bit of it from a short, but I just went ahead and fought her on the save file afterwards, so I'm not quite spec'd properly for the weapons. What you would really go if you're going a bleed build is you probably want 2 Banished Knights, but 80 Arcane for sure, and then probably 40 Strength Dex if you can afford it, or something closer to that because the scaling is quality, right? Yeah, this is pretty good. The actual damage, when I'm not getting tossed around, really good. Alright. And then she should waterfowl here, probably. Dude, what? That's crazy. That feels weird, dude. I don't know why she's been knocking me out of that one hit. Oh, perfect. She didn't even decide to waterfowl. Am I going crazy? I feel like some of these things are hitting me different. Apparently Malenia just hits different sometimes. But, it's a quick method right there. The jump method is pretty handy if you need a quick reaction, get out of it is the big thing. And either you can't swap or you really don't want to swap to Vow or any other method, or you can't find a consistent method. I don't know what the actual poise break is. I will be getting that number later. But still, overall, it seems pretty good. The big thing about the paired greatsword moveset... Wow, okay. Wow, okay, if I had rolled, I actually would have lived that. That's interesting. I've died twice now using paired greatswords. You give up the biggest strength of greatswords by pairing them, I think. Against Malenia, that is, specifically. And that is the 4-hit moveset. And you give up a lot of forward movement and range. It's very strong, as you can see. I'm hitting big numbers every time. But beyond that, I would prefer to use just one, honestly. Granted, I'm also not a big fan of this moveset for the greatswords. So, I don't know what to tell you, I guess. Apparently, I'm just not happy. But the weapons themselves are actually good. I'm just, it could just be. It is 6 a.m. when I'm recording this. I got up early. I had to see my wife off to her new job. And then I'll go to work in like 2 hours from now. So, for all we know, that could be why. Alright. Or it could just be that I'm not using Vow, even, Makes me somehow play worse because I'm less confident, etc. Alright, we can hit R1, R1. There we go. I know you guys saw it, or like 2 of you guys saw it at least. I made my first short ever. I thought that was interesting. I don't really know if I'm going to keep doing shorts, but I have an idea for a couple that I want to do. Mainly quick access. I hate where my positioning is when she dodges with these, dude. Doesn't feel very good. But, mainly quick access to like how to dodge a few of Malenia's attacks, especially the waterfowl. I'll go over all the different methods through different shorts. I think that sounds like a good idea, personally. Question. Yeah, dude, these... They have like no tracking. But beyond that, they're really strong. A new Earth Defense Force game just released. I don't know if you guys play those or not. But I'm tempted to do some recordings for that. I highly doubt it'd get very many views, but, I kind of... If I can actually find the time, I'm wanting to set up maybe a side series to do. That's completely unrelated and just something that I'd like to do. But that I don't expect to get views, So I think I might do that sometime soon. I mean, like, that's a much better answer than just tanking the full attack, right? Actually, with, like, defense boosting and New Game Plus 7, the damage isn't even that bad. Yeah, I mean, like, actually the damage was not bad in the slightest, like... So, I did the numbers on it. If you're jumping and you don't have your defense boosts up... defense boosts up... Ooh, I can't speak. You take about 600 damage. So, imagine that, but minus 35%. All of a sudden, it's like a 400 damage attack that she does against you. I think that makes Waterfowl pretty manageable. Oh, that was so dumb of me. If she... Yeah, okay. She was nice to me, but she could have attacks of the clones there. Attacks of the clones there? I don't know. I don't know how you make it past tense. She could have used attack of the clones there. There we go. That'll work. And that is... That would have been death from that positioning, I think. Things weak to bleed. Probably stage front. Probably... Messmer. I'll try both of those once. How about that? And then we'll go to the gauntlet. I gotta say, these weapons are good. I'm just being a little bad with them, but that's okay. It's one of those movesets that I don't use very often, and I don't value very highly. It's basically you're turning 2 greatswords into a colossal sword. And... Wow, dude, I do that every time against this guy, because he always starts with that, and I always forget that he starts with that. But if you didn't know, I'm not a big fan of colossal swords. So I don't typically use them. Too close for that to actually roll it. Okay. Alright. I'm bad at this guy, but the issue is it just doesn't matter, right? He's got so little health compared to the rest of the bosses, you could actually just tank him. I think the big downside of him is that, like, if you get hit by the grab, he becomes a lot harder, because if you heal, then he heals. But with how high your damage gets from Scatter Blessings, it ends up not mattering very much, right? Oh, right. Like, he's 70% dead, and I haven't had to learn how this fight works at all. Which is always kind of funny to me. Alright. I think he's gonna die in 1 or 2 more hits here. Yeah, we got him. I mean, like, that wasn't bad at all, right? Messmer, on the other hand, actually is a fight that requires learning. Let's go do that. Check out how that goes with Bleed. And then we're going to go do the gauntlet and call it there. So somebody, and I will read your name out as well, actually, because you were very kind about it too. Archie Doctor, I guess Archie _ DR. He just found the series. That's very cool. Thank you for watching. But he suggested maybe I go over builds and possible Ashes of War for weapons. I think that's a great idea. I will probably not be doing that in this episode, just because I didn't quite prepare for it, but I'll try to prepare some more things for when I'm actually doing these videos, honestly. I think it's a good idea. I should have buffed before starting the fight. There we go. Hey, we got a bleed. I shouldn't have rolled backwards. Ouch. That is twice now he's hit me with that. Sheesh, dude. So much for, like, showing how to use these weapons, though. I am, like, getting tossed around. Alright. I do have to say, I think the running L1 on paired greatswords is really good. Probably its best attack. Oh. And, like, we're still kind of demolishing him, though? That's the thing. If he would, like, stand still for 1 more second. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, almost. We're actually going to phase transition him here because it's a free heal. That's how good his phase transition is. Hey, that was a good dodge, huh? What'd you guys think of that? When we bled him, that means we actually have to, like, stop pursuing him here. Goodbye. Or not. Hello. I'm still waiting for him to do his big nuke, because he should at this health, right? Weird. Maybe if we get 1 more hit on him? Oh, screw that, dude. I'm dead. I'm not. Alright. I should have been. Oh, okay. That was very silly. I ended up getting a counter hit while he sent me flying in the direction he was moving. Which basically set me up for dead, because if you don't know, his nuke there that leads into his big combo, it's not super hard to dodge unless you're, like, actively getting hit into it like that. But it has a very large AoE burst damage and then damage over time tick, which makes it a little bit annoying. But we were very close to having him done, so I mean, that's a pretty good start, right? Like, we were doing good against him. This weapon performed quite well. I am, in this case, effectively calling these the same weapon here, and I mean, they almost are. It's a difference of like 30 damage in favor of Banished Knight Greatsword. This one has more range, but, like, who cares? In this case, you're using them paired anyway, so if you're hitting with one, you're gonna want to be hitting with the other. But when it comes to greatswords, bleed is a fine option. I typically wouldn't choose it. I would rather go some sort of quality build. I know a lot of people do faith buff stacking. I don't very often, but I know is very good. Hey, what do you think about the idea of maybe... One thing I was thinking of going over was, like, in a video, was possibly staple talismans. Because the staples of this game changed a lot. And I think you could even argue that there are 2 or 3 staples that you could run in most builds. Which is, I guess, the idea of a staple. I knew you'd come. I mean, like, against Gideon, this is pretty good. I mean, like, okay. He's just kind of dying here, huh? Dude, the bleed is destroying him. Oh my goodness, he did an attack. I really hate how NPCs dodge your attacks. Alright, he's dead though. The way they can backstep perfectly. For some reason, he only did it like once or twice, but still. Cannot kill a god. Yeah, I know. I actually rather like Gideon and his voice lines and stuff. It's pretty good. I don't really have much to say about this weapon. By the way, side note though, I think everything's a side note when I say that. Or I'm constantly saying that, I should say, really. Banished Greatsword is the first non-DLC weapon I've used since the DLC came out. You guys are loving the DLC videos. And that's great. I'm loving doing it. It's crazy. And a lot of them feel really strong. And they're fun. Also, Greatswords rule. These weapons are still great, even if I did die a couple times to Malenia. I'm gonna chalk that up to me being impatient at 6 a.m. and also a mix of like being stubborn and not wanting to use the moveset properly. Can you hit R1 or L1 R1? Not really. Can you hit it R1 L1? No. Man, that's so sad, dude. Oh well. Godfrey shouldn't be too bad. I should have once again buffed before going in, but that's okay. Well, maybe it'll be terrible. Hold on. Sheesh. Let's just buff up a little. 64% resistances make it a lot easier to fight this guy. Like, look at that difference in damage. One of the things to note about bleed is you get diminished returns by quite a bit in terms of the bleed buildup when you pair a weapon. It's still better than normal, but you might be able to argue that a normal greatsword could possibly just be better at it anyway. Because I think you get, like, significantly reduced. Well, so much for that. Significantly reduced bleed buildup. That's hitting me. I mean, like, you can see it brought my damage taken down by so much, though. Oh, just didn't dodge. Good one, me. That was completely on me, too. Alright, can I get one hit in on this? Yes, I can. I mean, not really, but I can. He's gonna do a stomp after this. I think that's, like, a guaranteed thing that he does. Just always stomps. The jump attack is really strong, too. How about that? Makes you wonder why it's such a high value compared to the R1s and the, same for the run attack, you know? We're gonna heal here. Whoops. That's so delayed, dude. You'd think I'd learned that by now. Get me out of here. Alright. I have to say, though, I think Godfrey is one of the fairer fights. Like, he doesn't really have any gimmicks to him outside of just, like, doing damage. Yeah, he's got a big AoE, but, like, what boss doesn't, right? Also, it's really funny knowing that, like, I'm not even wearing maximum buffs and I'm able to reduce the damage down this much in New Game 7, you know? You really do have... Oh, I deserve to die here. No, I don't actually mean kill me, dude. It was a joke. It's just a prank, bro. You really do have a lot of options for making yourself stronger in this game. Get him. That wasn't so bad. I used a lot of flasks, but half of those were healing way too early anyway. Alright, let's go beat up good old Radagon. I don't think this one's going to go quite as well, just because these are bleed and you're giving up a lot of damage for that. What I would probably do is instead of actually, why don't we just do this? I'm not required to build bleed. You're going to see something very embarrassing when I go to my Ash of Wars page. So please don't laugh. Yeah, I don't have any of the, Wow, that is, like, significantly more damage, huh? I don't have any of the wet blades on this game, because my save file got wiped. I need to go do that at some point. And I will. And that's probably, you know what, I should probably just knock that out, and then I can start covering what builds in Ash of Wars to do and stuff. Shriek of Sorrows, if you didn't know, by the way, just a 10% damage boost, and it's really fast. And it scales up the less health you have. So it's pretty good. I don't know if it's a body buff, so I might have just gotten rid of my my crab by doing that. You know, for having so many hours in the game, I still don't totally understand all the different buffs you can stack. I'm pretty sure most of them are just labeled unique, and so they stack, but I know there's a lot that also don't. Like, crab doesn't stack with Black Flame's protection, that sort of thing, you know? I was really hoping for a stance break there. You gotta roll super early for that one. Stance break at all, dude? No? Alright. I guess not, then. You gotta be a little more careful about that one. Unlike the one that he winds up on the ground, if you're pushed against him, it will hit you, which is so sad. Yep. This is okay. The only thing I don't know about Shriek of Sorrows, I think it gives you a damage boost based on your current health, not... Yeah, so use it when you're a bit lower and then heal. It'll give you a bigger boost. Dude, sometimes Radagon just, like, fights. I just don't get it. Like, I understand he's a real boss. But, like, sometimes he just falls over and dies, and sometimes he, like, just doesn't give you a second to fight him. I find his fight almost one of the most inconsistent when it comes to actual aggression is my issue. Is like this, I don't know what you do about that attack still. I've never learned. But you don't really have to as the thing, because again, if you die to him like 5 times, he might have just been really aggressive 5 times. Like, you still need to learn how to dodge a lot of him, but not all of it. It's really weird to me. And I don't know. I like the fight a lot, but Elden Beast coming afterwards means I think they were kind of limited in what they could do with him, right? Because if you put 2 bosses back to back like this, it gets really difficult to make fun to fight. I should have actually done that before, but that's okay. Okay, I'm not doing that. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Much, much better. There's a good chance we die to Elden Beast. I still haven't totally gotten the way of how to fight him in the air. Or, not, how to fight him on a horse. There are times where he just kind of kills you if you're at range and you're on the horse. Or if you're at, like, mid to close range and you're on the horse. Certain attacks just kind of wipe you out. Mainly his, like, super not so dangerous attack. Okay, that was the difference of range right there. We're only 1 hit. The one where he does 4 beams, that one ends up being a little bit dangerous. I mean, the damage is good at least. You have to actually roll out of that, by the way, if you didn't know. You can't just walk out. It does damage over time. It ticks like 4 times. Okay, the one thing I've got to say, though, these things have, like, terrible stance pressure. I don't remember if we got any stance breaks on Malenia or not. I don't think we did. We haven't gotten any here. We haven't gotten any on Radagon. A little weird to me. My health. I didn't know when it would explode. That's fine, though, honestly. Sad. Alright, please don't do the quad slash. It's the quad slash. Alright, well, we were close enough anyway, but you have to recognize it and then just jump off your horse. Is basically the only thing I've seen that really works against it. Okay. I still like riding out to him and then turning around to kind of get a feel for where he's going to be. That works pretty well. And then he'll be like, yeah. Not too far off from that. Whoa. That's not what I thought he was doing. Please not again, dude. Oh, I rolled too early. Okay, that's on me now. Anyway. I hate Elden Beast. I won't lie. I don't like him as a fight, so I don't care if we don't win. It's just never a fun time, I think. But that's okay. We did pretty good. We got him down like 90%. If you really wanted him dead, you take this off and you put on the like golden braid and he like can't even touch you. Or you take off Lord of Blood's exaltation, you put on the golden blade and then Pearl Drake, and all of a sudden you got 50% holy resistance. It's holy cow. Just doubled your resistance there. Anyway, not important. Thank you very much for watching. I actually rather like this weapon. It was cool, and it fits the aesthetic of me well if I had actually just had only the Banished Knight blade. But it's a very strong one. I highly recommend it. Bleed is good for a lot of the bosses. Just know when not to use bleed and swap to a cult. Alright, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.